Imagine waking up on a small island. The sun is just beginning to rise over the horizon. The waves gently crash against the shore. Birds circle overhead. At first glance, it looks like paradise. But then, you notice something moving near your feet. A snake, then another, and another. Within seconds you realize the ground isn't just covered with leaves and branches. It's covered with snakes. Welcome to Snake Island. For the next 24 hours, leaving isn't an option. No helicopter, no rescue boat, no hidden supplies. Your only mission is simple. Stay alive. Now before you panic, here's something important. Despite what movies might make you believe, snakes don't hunt humans for food. Most snakes would rather avoid people altogether. They bite when they feel threatened, cornered, or accidentally stepped on. That means your greatest enemy isn't actually the snakes. It's panic. Every rushed decision increases your chances of making a deadly mistake. So take a deep breath. Because every choice you make over the next 24 hours could mean the difference between survival and becoming another cautionary tale. In the first hour, first instinct most people have is to run. That would be one of the worst decisions you could make. Running through unfamiliar terrain means you won't see what's beneath your feet. Hidden snakes blend perfectly into rocks, leaves, and tree roots. Instead, freeze. Take slow breaths. Look around carefully. You need information before you need speed. Where is the highest ground? Where is the thickest vegetation? Where is open space? Snakes prefer certain environments. Some hide under logs. Others bask in sunlight. Some climb trees. Your first task isn't escaping. It's understanding the island before it understands you. Slowly scan every step before placing your foot down. Each movement should be deliberate. Remember, one careless step could place your foot inches from a venomous snake that feels it has no choice but to defend itself. Every minute you stay calm dramatically improves your chances of making it through the day. As the morning grows warmer, another problem appears. The heat. You need shade, but choosing the wrong place could be dangerous. A cave might look perfect, until you discover snakes already using it. A hollow log? The same problem. Even thick bushes can provide excellent hiding places for wildlife. Instead of forcing your way into enclosed spaces, search for an open area with visibility in every direction. The best shelter is one that lets you see danger before danger sees you. While exploring, never place your hands where you can't see. Many snake bites happen because people reach under rocks, into holes, or beneath fallen branches without checking first. Today, curiosity can be deadly. Every branch you move, every rock you lift, every place you sit, needs to be inspected first. Your goal isn't comfort, it's survival. 3 hours have passed. The adrenaline that kept you alert is beginning to fade. Your mouth feels dry, your lips are cracking, and the tropical heat is becoming unbearable. You need water. But finding water on an island filled with snakes isn't as simple as following a stream. In fact, water sources can be some of the most dangerous places on the island. Many animals visit them to drink, and snakes often wait nearby because they know prey will eventually arrive. So instead of rushing toward the first puddle you see, stop and observe from a distance. Is the water moving, or is it stagnant? Moving water is generally safer than standing water, which may contain harmful bacteria or parasites. As you carefully make your way downhill, you hear the faint sound of trickling water. Hope. Pushing aside a few branches, you discover a narrow stream weaving between smooth rocks. But something catches your eye. Long, winding trails in the mud. Fresh tracks. Something has been here recently. You kneel down, but before taking a drink, you scan every inch of the surrounding area. Nothing. No movement. No warning rattle. No hiss. Slowly, you scoop a handful of water into your palm. The cool water feels like pure relief. Just as you're about to drink another handful, a sudden splash echoes upstream. You freeze. Was it a fish, a falling branch, or something much larger? You stay perfectly still. Several long seconds pass. Finally, a large bird bursts into the sky from the riverbank. You let out the breath you've been holding. For now, you're safe. But the island has reminded you of an important lesson. Never let your guard down. Not even for a sip of water. As the afternoon sun begins to sink lower, another challenge is approaching. Darkness. The sky transforms from bright blue to orange, then deep purple. Soon, the first stars begin to appear. Night is coming, and with it, an entirely different island. During the day, your eyes help you survive. At night, your vision becomes your greatest weakness. Every shadow starts to look like a snake. Every fallen branch resembles a coiled body waiting to strike. Your imagination becomes almost as dangerous as the real threat. You need somewhere to spend the night. But sleeping on the ground isn't an option. Even if no snake intentionally crawls toward you, one could pass through while searching for food. So you search for a large flat rock sitting above the surrounding ground. It isn't perfect, but it gives you a better view in every direction. Using fallen branches, not your bare hands, you gently clear away leaves and debris from the surface. You inspect every crack, every corner, every shadow. Satisfied that nothing is hiding nearby, you sit down. For the first time all day, you stop moving. Silence. Almost. The jungle begins to wake up. Crickets chirp. Frogs croak somewhere in the distance. Leaves rustle in the breeze. Then, something else. A slow, steady, sliding sound. You shine your flashlight toward the trees. Nothing. The sound stops. You tell yourself it was probably just the wind. But deep down, you're not convinced. Midnight. You've officially survived half the challenge. But mentally, this is where survival becomes much harder. The darkness hides everything. Your ears take over where your eyes fail. Every tiny sound feels amplified. A leaf falls. You jump. A branch cracks. Your heart races. Something brushes against nearby grass. You grip the stick in your hands tighter. You slowly point your flashlight toward the sound. Nothing. The beam cuts through the darkness. But the forest remains silent. Then, a low hiss. Not loud, not aggressive. Just enough to make every muscle in your body freeze. You don't move. You don't speak. You barely even breathe. Many snake species rely on camouflage. If they don't see you as a threat, they'll often continue on their way. Seconds feel like hours. The hiss fades. Somewhere in the darkness, whatever made the sound quietly disappears. You exhale slowly. Your heart is pounding so hard you can hear it in your ears. But the night's surprises aren't over. Clouds begin rolling across the moon. The forest becomes darker than ever before. Without moonlight, even your flashlight struggles to reveal what lies ahead. The island has become a maze of uncertainty. And there are still 12 hours left until sunrise. Can you stay calm, or will fear make your next decision for you? Hours pass. Sleep never truly comes. Every few minutes, another unfamiliar sound snaps you back to full alert. Your body is exhausted, but your instincts refuse to relax. Just before dawn, nature delivers its biggest test yet. You hear leaves crunching, not a light rustle. Heavy movement. Slow, purposeful. Whatever is approaching is much larger than anything you've imagined. You slowly lift your flashlight. The beam catches a thick, muscular body sliding across the forest floor. It's the largest snake you've seen all day. Its scales reflect the light like polished armor. It isn't charging. It isn't hunting you. It's simply crossing your path. Your heart screams at you to run. But your mind remembers the first rule of survival. Stay calm. You remain completely still. No sudden movements. No loud noises. No attempt to scare it away. For several agonizing seconds, the snake pauses. Its tongue flicks in and out, collecting tiny scent particles from the air. It's trying to understand its surroundings. To the snake, you're simply another unfamiliar object. Not prey, not food, just something to avoid if possible. Then, it slowly changes direction. Without any sign of aggression, it glides into the bushes and disappears into the darkness. Only after several more seconds do you allow yourself to breathe again. That moment teaches you one of the biggest lessons about surviving around snakes. Most dangerous encounters happen because humans panic first. The snake was never trying to attack. It simply wanted a safe path forward. Sometimes, survival isn't about fighting. It's about knowing when not to. As the first rays of sunlight appear on the horizon, you realize something else. You've made it through the night. But another enemy has arrived. Hunger. Morning finally arrives. The sunlight feels comforting after hours of darkness. But your body has changed. You've barely slept. You've walked for hours. You've been running on pure adrenaline. Now your stomach reminds you that it hasn't had food in nearly an entire day.
I'm so hungry.
Hunger clouds your judgment.
Maybe I can eat
Suddenly,
that animal.
Every colorful berry looks edible.
Hey, come back!
Every unfamiliar fruit seems worth the risk.
Oh, a berry!
But this is exactly how survival stories become tragedies. One poisonous plant can cause severe illness, making an already dangerous situation far worse. If you don't know what something is, don't eat it. Your body can survive much longer without food than without safe decision-making. Instead, you focus on conserving energy. Every unnecessary step burns calories. Every burst of panic drains strength. You move slowly, choosing the shortest safe paths instead of wandering aimlessly. The tropical heat rises once again. Sweat pours down your face. You stop often, breathing steadily and drinking small amounts of water whenever it's safe. The goal isn't comfort, it's endurance. Survival is rarely about heroic moments. It's about making hundreds of small, smart decisions. As noon approaches, you begin noticing something strange. You're talking to yourself, not because you've gone crazy, but because silence has become almost unbearable. Loneliness is beginning to affect your mind. And that's a danger many people never prepare for. By now, you've learned that surviving isn't about being fearless. It's about avoiding unnecessary mistakes. Unfortunately, most people make those mistakes within the first few hours. Let's imagine what would have happened if you had done what many people instinctively do. Mistake number 1. Running. One rushed step could place your foot directly beside a hidden snake. Even worse, you might trip, putting your hands exactly where a frightened snake is hiding. Mistake number 2. Trying to kill every snake you see. This surprises many people, but approaching a snake often creates more danger than simply leaving it alone. A cornered animal is far more likely to defend itself. Mistake number 3. Reaching into places you can't see. Under rocks, inside hollow logs, dense bushes. Those dark spaces aren't just hiding places. They're homes. Mistake number 4. Ignoring exhaustion. Fatigue slows your reaction time. It makes you careless. It causes simple mistakes that can have serious consequences. And finally, mistake number 5. Letting fear control every decision. Fear keeps you alert. Panic gets you hurt. The people most likely to survive aren't necessarily the strongest. They're the calmest. And that's exactly what you've tried to be from the very beginning. But staying calm is becoming more difficult with every passing hour. Because the greatest threat isn't outside anymore. It's inside your own mind. The island hasn't changed. The snakes haven't become more dangerous. But your mind has. After nearly 18 hours of constant stress, your brain begins playing tricks on you. Every twisted vine looks like a snake. Every curved branch makes your heart skip a beat. You start hearing sounds that may not even be there. This is the invisible enemy of survival. Mental fatigue. The longer you're under stress, the harder it becomes to tell the difference between real danger and imagined danger. You stop beside a tree and close your eyes. Just for a few seconds. You slow your breathing. In, out, again. Your heartbeat begins to settle. When you open your eyes, the snake in front of you is nothing more than a fallen branch. Your brain had transformed it into a threat. This is why experienced survival experts don't just train their bodies. They train their minds. Because clear thinking saves lives. You continue walking with renewed focus. Each careful step brings you closer to the finish. The countdown now feels real. Only a few hours remain. You can almost imagine the rescue boat appearing on the horizon. But survival stories often save their biggest challenge for last. And this island isn't finished testing you yet. Dark clouds begin gathering above the trees. And the wind suddenly changes. Something is coming. Only 4 hours remain. You can almost feel victory. But survival has a strange way of becoming most dangerous when people think they've already won. As you continue walking, you discover 2 possible routes. The first follows the rocky shoreline. It's longer, slower, but completely open. The second cuts straight through a dense section of jungle. It would save at least 30 minutes. Most people wouldn't think twice. 30 minutes is a huge advantage. Your tired body practically begs you to take the shortcut. But then you remember something you've learned over the last 20 hours. The fastest path isn't always the safest one. Dense vegetation hides everything. Fallen leaves can completely camouflage a snake. One careless step could end the challenge instantly. You stand there for a moment, debating. Your legs ache, your stomach growls, your mind whispers, just take the shortcut. Instead, you choose the shoreline. It's slow, it's exhausting, but every step gives you a clear view of the ground ahead. As you carefully walk along the rocks, you glance toward the jungle path. Suddenly, a loud rustling sound echoes from inside. Then silence. You never discover what made it. And maybe, that's exactly why choosing the safer route was the right decision. Sometimes, surviving isn't about bravery. It's about resisting temptation, because the island rewards patience, not speed. The final hour. It should feel easy. Instead, it feels endless. Every minute seems slower than the last. Your body is completely drained. Your muscles ache. Your feet feel heavier with every step. But something else has changed. You're no longer terrified. You've learned how to move carefully. How to observe before acting. How to stay calm. The island hasn't become less dangerous. You've become better prepared. As you continue toward the beach, the sounds of crashing waves grow louder. The trees begin to thin. Sunlight floods the open sand. For the first time in nearly 24 hours, you can clearly see the ocean stretching toward the horizon. Freedom is close. You sit on a large rock overlooking the water. Not because you've given up. Because you've finally earned a moment to breathe. You watch the waves. You reflect on every decision that brought you here. Every careful step. Every moment you chose patience instead of panic. Sometimes, the greatest victory isn't escaping danger. It's refusing to let fear control you. Then, far in the distance, you notice something. A tiny shape moving across the water. Is it finally over? The object on the horizon grows larger. A boat. Your heart races. You stand up and wave both arms. Nothing. The boat continues moving. Has it seen you? You grab a long branch and begin waving it above your head. Still nothing. Panic begins creeping back. Not now. Not after everything. Then you remember one final lesson. Think. Don't panic. You gather several large pieces of driftwood. Using a small survival lighter from your emergency kit, you ignite a smoky signal fire. Within moments, a thick column of smoke rises into the sky. The boat changes direction. It's coming toward you. You laugh, not because the danger is gone, but because you've made it. As the rescue crew reaches the shore, they ask the same question everyone asks. How did you survive? You smile. I stopped trying to beat the island and started respecting it. The crew helps you aboard. As the island slowly disappears into the distance, you take one final look back. Then, you notice movement in the trees. Hundreds of tiny shapes disappearing into the forest. The island continues exactly as it always has. Unchanged, waiting for the next visitor. 24 hours, thousands of careful decisions, one simple goal: stay alive. Today wasn't about defeating snakes. It wasn't about fighting nature. It was about understanding it. Let's remember the biggest lessons. Number 1. Stay calm. Panic causes far more mistakes than the danger itself. Number 2. Watch every step. Most accidents happen when people stop paying attention. Number 3. Respect wildlife. Most snakes would rather avoid people than confront them. Giving animals space is often the safest choice for everyone. Number 4. Never let exhaustion make your decisions. When you're tired, slow down, think, then move. And finally, survival isn't about being fearless. It's about making smart choices even when you're afraid. If you enjoyed testing your survival instincts today, the adventure doesn't have to end here. What if you had to survive 24 hours in shark-infested waters? Or 24 hours in the world's coldest forest? Or even 24 hours trapped inside an abandoned city with no food, no power, and no way to call for help? If you're ready for the next challenge, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment telling us where we should survive next. And remember,
Perfect coffee.
knowledge weighs nothing, but one
Whoa,
day,
a subscribe
it might
button.
save your life.
Woohoo!
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe to
We'll see you in the
Waptus.
next